First and foremost, let's get the legal mumbo jumbo out of the way. Again, these are my personal opinions and my thoughts, and I in no way am making comments for a company of any sort. Now that's out of the way. Greetings and salutations. This is Chris Babylon again, your American truck driver, and all I gotta say is wow. I did not expect all the awesome comments that I have been getting on my first video. If you haven't watched it, it's called Trucking and Politics. So this will be Trucking and Politics Part 2. And I have got to give a big shout out to all y'all who have left a comment. I appreciate the information and I appreciate your responses. That's the only way we're going to get information out there. That's the only way that we can get ideas out there, because a lot of this stuff I had no clue. I'll be straight up honest with y'all. I had no idea we came this far in technology. I did read something about a year ago. I drive a brand new truck, 2018. It's only got 136,000 miles on it, so that's pretty young for a diesel truck, by the way. Barely broke in, and the computer broke down in the diesel exhaust fume system, the DEF system, which is environmental, helps with the environment with carbon, taking it out of the air. But when it breaks down, you go down. So I was stuck getting that repaired, and I just happened to see this new magazine article about self-driving trucks and the future of it, and I was checking it out, and the whole concept. And by the way, I got to give a shout out to a couple of y'all who brought this up. OTR will be taken over first, and it shows a guy, and he's driving the truck, and he's got 2 other trucks behind him. Okay, so he's like the pilot of 3 on the long straight hauls, and I'll get more into that. But right now, I just got to say, wow, y'all, this is great. Like I said, this is real positive. Lots of information, and I gotta give y'all a shout out for nothing being negative at all. The name calling is not there, which is cool. I mean, that's how we need to talk. Be open-minded, no name calling, just straight up conversation, passing back and forth information. You know, kudos to everyone here. Now to get to a few I would like to address. As I was saying, a couple of y'all brought up the fact that this is going to happen in 3 to 5 years. Like I said, I had no idea about this information or how far we'd come into AI. If you would, y'all see this video and you get a chance, for those of you who are the computer and the and you have more information about this than I do, which is apparent, please put out a short video about these AIs if you can. I don't know how top secret they are. I'm not into that. And let the rest of us know. That would be great. More information, more power. That's what I say, and that's what I believe. You know, we share, we're aware, in other words. So if you could put out a short video about this, I would appreciate it. And I'm sure there's others who would be. But getting back to it, you know, I can see AIs at first taking like the OTR concept of going from terminal to terminal, point A to point B. Your long hauls, especially across the Midwest, which I've done quite a few times, and it's, oh, there's a tree. And then, you know, 50 miles later, oh, wait, oh, never mind, it's the same tree. Because it's so mundane and just so flat. And so I could see that. Letting an autopilot taking over and giving a guy's eyes a break, and then, you know, letting him take over after a warning bell or something, and letting him know, hey, you're coming up into an area that needs your attention. And then coming into a state and being like, I'm going to use this term, a train yard, where all these trucks can meet and drop their loads, pick up other loads heading the other direction, and then local drivers come and pick up those loads and take them to the distribution centers, the stores, and whatnot. I could see that. But as far as regional and dedicated, which is what I do dedicated. So I'm in a lot of small areas, a lot of small towns. So a lot of built-up population. Yeah, I don't see that till later on. Now, like I said, I'm open from all the info I can get on this, guys and gals. So please share, and that way we're all more informed. I'll be honest with you. I'm no, like I've said, I'm no computer guru. My wife, God bless her for putting up with me as long as she has. She helped me figure out this phone. As a matter of fact, I was thrilled when I could turn it on. So being able to make this step up to being able to make videos like this is just, you know, over the moon for me. So you'll have to forgive me. Now, as far as in cities, I'm going to say that it's going to be a little bit longer because you have more, how to put it, you're going to have more obstacles. You're going to have more subjects to be aware of, multiple subjects, and so I'm going to say more than likely that's still going to be human run, at least for the foreseen future. I do have some questions for y'all. If you can leave your comments, please do, and let me know where I can find answers for this. Because like I said, it's been very hard to find out any information. A lot of the comments, I was dumbstruck at everything that y'all were saying about AIs and these trucks and automated systems, and I'm going, wow, this is cool. You know, I had no idea. So keep it coming. But my questions are for this. Now, okay, we're gonna have automated trucks. What about weight? Are they going to do something about the laws? Are they still going to weigh the same in the vehicles? Because as of right now, unless you have what's called an oversized permit, you're only allowed legally, and that's with a 53-foot trailer, what I carry, which is a refrigeration unit, or known as a reefer trailer, or a dry van. They're 53 foot long, and they're, with that, my cab, fuel, everything, I'm only allowed legally 80,000 pounds and no more. Okay? You have 34 on the back tandems, 34 on your drives, and then the rest on the front, on your steers. Now, the thing is, we also have what's called sliding tandems on the trailer, so we're able to adjust. If you ever notice that the rear wheels of some of these trailers are in different positions, those are sliding tandems. We can adjust the weight to where it's less on the drives and more on the rear, and vice versa. And then you got what are called bridge laws, okay, which means that the rear tandems can only be so far back from your drive tires, and they go by hole. Okay, give you an idea, California, of course, that's a totally different subject, but there, in that state, you're only allowed 7th hole. No matter how much you weigh on your trailer or your drives, you have to be 7th hole for the bridge law. Whereas in Illinois, you can be 10th hole. So how are they going to be able to adjust that? Also, oversized loads. Y'all know what I'm talking about if you ever seen them. Houses, these windmills for wind power. Huge loads that can only go certain ways, down certain highways. They need more room to turn in certain areas. They have to have escorts by law. So, you know, I'm looking at that and I'm thinking, you know, those still are going to need drivers. Now, if y'all tell me something different and can show me facts about this, by all means, please do. But, you know, until I'm informed, I'm going to have to state it. It's going to be drivers for that, because that's a specialized deal. They have oversized permits. They have, multiple tandems for the weight. So I think it's like for every tandem over 2, it's like you can put like 15 or 20,000 pounds, depending on how they're built. Reinforced and all that has a lot to do with it. Extra pounds per tandem. Okay, so I gotta ask about these things so that I can know and y'all can share this information with others. So, but with that, there we go. Those are my questions there. Also, it's something to think about too. Even though the driving jobs are going to be taken away, we're still going to need maintenance. Because as far as I know, there's no trucks or anything that's going to be able to repair itself, right? And until they get these AIs figured out, just like this phone or any other computer system, like, well, that right there still has bugs, okay? I use a lot of apps on my phone in place of that thing because I get so sick of it crashing. So until these AIs are figured out, because they're going to be so new and they crash constantly and they're having to be updated and fixed and repaired, and you're going to have areas, I can tell you all right now, there's a corridor. It's called the I-65 Dead Zone. It's right there in Kentucky. You cannot make a cell phone call if you have Verizon. I cannot receive anything on my Bluetooth connected radio at all. So, but I can receive texts all day long. Of course, I have to wait to read them because I don't read while I drive. That's just a no-no. That's why I'm still driving and still safe and alive. So, those zones, how are satellites and cell phone towers, how's that going to affect the AIs? So there's a lot of questions that go with the answers that y'all have given, and I'm very interested in finding out these answers. I'm sure others are too. And by the way, I don't endorse any candidate on this, all right? Let's try and keep the political down a bit and just stick with science and facts and technology. That's what I'm trying to get out there. As I've stated in my very first video ever, I'm central on a lot of ideas. Now, I'm open to listening, don't get me wrong, but I'm not going to endorse anybody. I just brought up Andrew Yang's name because he mentions truck drivers in his book, and when he's making a talking points with Ben Shapiro on his show, okay? So that's the only reason why I brought him up. Nothing political about it, just the idea of what he was talking about drivers, okay, as his examples. So these are questions that I think need answers. And what do y'all think of as far as people, young truck drivers? Of course, I'm thinking by the time this really takes off, I'm going to be retired anyways. But for the younger generation who are still drivers, do you think that they'll be moved by companies to maintain these trucks, to be the ones who are going to be looking after the automated fleets behind the desks, as one comment said? We're going to need people to fix them. If they break down on highways, we're going to need repairmen to go out there. When they blow a tire, we're going to have to get out there and fix them. Oh, and by the way, for y'all technical gurus out there, FYI, stay away from super singles. Those things are a nightmare and they're dangerous. All right, just look at them. You'll see what I'm talking about. You got your dual, why they call them tandems, dual tires is your standard, and then you got these big, huge tires called super singles. When those things blow, you're stuck. Okay, with tandems, at least if one blows, you got a chance to creep down the highway to get to a station and get it fixed. And those super singles are dangerous. Okay, I've seen them take out windshields. They took out my mirror on my truck because there's more pressure to them. And when they blow, they take out the mud flap and the wheel guard that is around them. And 9 times out of 10, if it doesn't sling the tire out and damages a vehicle next to it or behind it, it gets wrapped up in the other tires and then just locks and just makes a mess, all right? Fires have been known to start because of that. Not trying to get off subject, but I just thought I'd pass that on to y'all. So again, thank y'all so much for the comments. Let's keep the conversation going. as one of my favorite people would say on YouTube. So again, y'all be safe out there. Keep the rubber side down, and let's keep the conversation going, the ideas rolling. And more information, the more power to everyone. Y'all have a good day.